I'm Max Bozeman II with the Greasy Spoon Soulfood Bistro. Family dinner in black families are extremely important. For one, because it's so many conversations that are filled with gold sitting around the dinner table. One of the reasons why I ended up in the restaurant business myself is because I was able to see my grandmother cooking on Sunday and starting early in the morning before church started and going to church and then leaving church and then going back and finishing everything up and sitting around the table with all of my family, just having conversation. A lot of times I may not have understood exactly what was being talked about, but just to see the connection between people. In this day and age, with technology being what it is, I can easily say and be honest and transparent. Sitting at dinner myself, I can look around the table and every single person is on a device. No one's even talking, and I have to admit that that's something that I even struggle to make sure that I rectify within my own family with my own kids, because so many things go on unsaid, unspoken. We don't know when family members are dealing with certain things and maybe suppressing certain things because they don't have the platform or the opportunity to talk about them. We just don't know. We don't know what people are dealing with emotionally or mentally. And so when we have these Sunday dinners, it's just an opportunity for us to come around, and really eat some good food, of course, but really just connect with one another. That's what it's all about, being a listening ear. That's what I do here at the Greasy Spoon. I love to come here on Sundays because it's so important to see families coming in, whether they're coming from a bar game, whether they're coming from church or an event, and just sitting around the table with the kids from infants all the way up, and see them smiling, and it's just a joy because you step back and you realize how food and Sunday dinner is such a universal language that pulls everybody together. It doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're poor, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, it doesn't matter what school you went to, if you have a college degree. Sitting around that table, eating Sunday dinner, everybody is on the same plane. Everyone is equal. We're just here to fill our tummies, have a good time, talk with one another, be a listening ear, and just fellowship.
How'd you come up with the name?
I came up with the name Greasy Spoon through a friend of mine several years ago. He was meeting me at a restaurant and I was sitting out on the patio. He's like, man, I'm gonna come get me some of that Greasy Spoon. It was just a casual conversation, just to be perfectly honest with you. And when he said it, something went off in my mind. So I was like, man, you know what? I like that, the Greasy Spoon, right? I was like, I'm gonna open up a restaurant one day and I'm gonna call it the Greasy Spoon. I didn't open that restaurant up until 7 years later, but it stuck with me. And I actually ended up getting a logo done for it. I got it incorporated and everything several years before I even knew I was going to be able to open it up. But that's where that faith comes in again. It's writing it down and making it plain. And I created that vision. And so here we are. The Greasy Spoon it's been blessed to be one of the top soul food brands in the city, the top restaurants in the city. And we just hope to continue to permeate the entire country with this brand and what we had to offer.
Okay, what is soul food to you?
Soul food to me is just, cooking from the heart. I don't want to limit it to, oxtails and greens and pork chops and fried chicken, mac and cheese and candy yams, because that's definitely food for the soul. But because even here we have lamb chops and lobster, different seafood options and steak, and so it's beyond just the typical traditional soul food cuisine items. But it's really just putting your heart into whatever you do. It's making sure that whoever tastes whatever you're producing, they can feel the love in it. Well, we are a Soulfood Bistro, and that's just a nice elevated way of saying we want to create a more elevated experience. You know, there's such a stigma that's connected to soul food restaurants, where people think that, you know, it's always got to be in a hood or certain parts of town where it looks a certain way. It's nasty, the people are mean that work there, the food is kind of sloppy all over the place. And so I really wanted to create a soul food brand that represents, you know, who we really are as a people. So many different people love soul food, but soul food restaurants are not put on the same level as a steakhouse or a seafood restaurant or an Asian or Italian restaurant. It's almost like it's just automatically defined as this just, you know, mom and pop, you know, spot. And so I didn't want that. I wanted to show that, yeah, everybody loves our food, but let me show you why. It's beyond the fact that you can't cook it at home or it takes 7 to 8 hours to cook. No, we can have a great experience while you're enjoying our food. And so here at like the Pearland location, for instance, you have fireplaces that you know, in each booth. So you have a good vibe and ambiance while you're eating. We have a stage where live entertainment goes on throughout the week. We have so many different, you know, nice decor and you know, the tables are custom made, and it's just a different kind of experience that I wanted to show. Look, we have some good food, but we also have you know, an elevated experience as well. That's the most important thing, food plus experience. We want to be able to show even our counterparts that we can be mentioned in the same name. Because we'll put soul food up against anything in the world, any kind of cuisine, and but we wouldn't put our experiences that we're able to offer up to all those other cuisines, because for some reason we just kind of been stuck in a mom and pop state of mind. And I want us to break out of that, and that's what the Greasy Spoon Soulfood Bistro is all about. So 2020 was an adventure in the fog, and because not only did the restaurant open, COVID hit, but more importantly, you know, I got diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, which was something totally out of the blue. I would have taken COVID 10 times before I would take, you know, that kind of diagnosis. And so that was a different situation, because now I had to be sidelined. I had to be still. I had to sit down. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I was in treatment every day. I had surgeries. You know, it was just it was a strange time for me that tested my faith. But a faith that can be tested can be trusted. And so I thank God that He honored my faith and brought me through not only the 2020 opening up a new restaurant, because I was able to thrive through COVID, but also bringing me through beating cancer. To have the opportunity to have them in your presence for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, that might be the only opportunity you have to speak to their soul through food. Hi.